Hello, lovely people. I'm Shaq, and welcome.
Hello from the little bunny rabbit.
This fun little bunny rabbit I'll show you how to make just a little bit later. But first I wanted to talk about the holiday shopping situation coming up. So there is a boycott that is happening on corporate America. Black Friday is their biggest sales day, and we are boycotting it. This is really important to showing corporate America that they don't have power without us, that we are the source of all that income. And so Black Friday is major important to those corporations, so we need to not shop those days. Now, shop small. If you're going to do any shopping on Black Friday, be sure you're shopping small. Hit those small stores, those little mom and pop, or, I hate actually the description of a mom and pop as being a small store, because obviously there are a lot of single individuals owning stores, and they're every bit as important to the small business community, or partnerships like what my family has, where it is two offspring and myself that work together to we're very, very small business, and we actually employ two subcontractors at this point in time that do a little bit of work for us. But it's still a very, very small business. This is, what we're wanting to boycott is corporate. So I've seen some posts about this boycott that came across like they were canceling Christmas. And yes, the point of most of these posts, or the posts that I have seen, has been Black women emphasizing it's a boycott on Black Friday and support Black small business. And I agree, 100% do that. But I just wanted, the major emphasis for me is boycott corporate. It's really, really important. But some of those posts have come across like they're canceling Christmas, and they're not. That is not what they're trying to do. Some of them haven't been as good at conveying that as others. But mostly, I'm realizing too, having spent many, many Christmases without enough money to buy the latest whatever that was popular, and fortunately, because I homeschooled, my kids weren't really in the know of what was popular and weren't coming home and asking for whatever, but they did occasionally see advertisements, and they did hear from certain friends, because we weren't completely isolated. But for the most part, we weren't inundated with that. And I know that people whose children go to public school are inundated with that. And it's hard when you don't have money and you can't do the big Christmas that their friends are doing. And I wanted to give some support to that. Like I said, have spent many Christmases, actually, when I think back on it, where I didn't have that much money and the Christmas was entirely homemade. And I realized that there are a lot of people who don't have the skills to be able to do an entire homemade Christmas like the stuff that I did, and I don't expect anyone to take that on. But mostly what children want is time with you. That's really what's important to them. You may not be recognizing that that's what's going on, and you may think that they just want to be off with, their friends, or I don't know. With the little kids, it's a little more evident, I think, that what they want is your time. Older kids, you're going to have to figure that out based on each kid, because I don't have any advice for that, because each kid is different in how you connect with them. You could be games, it could be gaming. But if you don't have a gaming system, then you might have to learn them on board games. Whatever it takes, even if it's, tossing around a homemade ball, and turning it into some kind of skill game. I can remember taking a stick and handing my son a stick and going out and is basically stick fighting. and I had to be willing to get hit. And he had to try and get through my guard. And, you know, and you could do this with something softer than a stick. I recommend doing it with something softer than a stick. Not everybody is up for being hit with a stick. So obviously take it to the level that you can do it. You know, something softer, like even cardboard swords or sticks. You know, the cardboard that's flopping all around can be hilarious. Keep it gentle as much as you can, but it's still a skill of get inside my guard and see if you can touch me. You know, like it can be a game of touch. Can you touch my shoulder? And I'm going to block you and protect my shoulder. And if you get through and you can touch my shoulder, then, you know, that's skill and you win, or whatever. I don't know about the win thing, but figure out some kind of game, some kind of interaction that you can have with your kids, your friends' kids, your whatever children, your grandkids that are in your life. Like right now, I don't have any children in my life, but I know that a lot of people do end up with children, their friends' children, their grandchildren, you know, there's children in their life. And if you can give them some of your time, that would be a wonderful gift. I'd also encourage you to get a book like this, The Children's Year, which the title on this has changed on the new one. Oh, and I wish I could get the new one, because this is all lovely black and white instructions, and they're cool. But the new one's colored in illustrations, and they're beautiful. But I can't justify buying another one of these books. I just said that I can look at the beautiful pictures. But it gives you ways to have a good time with children in your life that doesn't involve a great expense. This is a cardboard horse that Cloud was telling me that back when, that one of those Christmases when it was completely homemade, and actually I wasn't well enough to do what I'd done in the past, which is do a lot of sewing, that they pulled rags out of the rag bag and they made me a doll that year. And but Cloud's specific memory was remembering how that they made this horse for their brother, and that I helped them do that, and how much fun that was, because they got the time with me making the horse, and then they got to have something to give their brother for the Yule season. And what fun that was. And so if you can't find that book specifically, but I will put a link, check your library too. Be sure you check your library. And if you're at your library and you can't find that book, find one that has something in it that you can do together. Cardboard crafts, nature crafts. Nature crafts are great. Going out and finding the bits of nature that you can then put into a craft. Really affordable. If you're in the city, there is still bits of nature. And maybe, you know, we used to make things out of the pull tabs off the cans, but you don't have pull tabs anymore. And I'm not familiar with disposable packaging, because we don't live that way. But maybe you can come up with something to reuse those cardboard boxes from your cereal, or I don't know what you have in your life, but see if you can figure out a way to reuse it to make something else, and spend some time with a child making that. This bunny that I started with is a great example. It didn't come out of that book. I don't know where it came from. Can't remember, but basically, you take a square of fabric, and the bunny that you saw at the beginning was made out of a much smaller square of fabric. But this is a bandana, and you take your opposite corners and you pull them together. Then you are going to tie a knot and pull those two corners up through the knot, like so. And then you have a bunny rabbit. Now, I used this trick was so invaluable. We often went out as a family and didn't didn't go prepared, I guess, for long stays at places where I thought it was going to be let's just drop that off and run. And then we'd find ourselves sitting there, or say the car broke down. Ooh, that one would happen. The car broke down and you've got 4 kids. I did anyway. And you've got to entertain them. And because they're getting really frustrated with sitting there waiting. And so I would grab a diaper actually, and I would make a bunny rabbit with the knot, and then we would play with the bunny rabbit. And, you know, I would make the bunny rabbit hop around and give kisses, and then talk to them. And then if necessary, I made a bunny rabbit for each of them and then gave it to them to play with. And usually there was enough in the diaper bag to do that, because I used cloth diapers. And so there was enough in there to make 4. Now, emergency bandanas is something in my bag currently, because they work as cloth masks. But they also work great when you get that runny nose and you gotta take care of that. But keeping a clean bandana in my bag is kind of a necessity. You might consider it, because it's great emergency entertainment. So I'll show you again. Take the 2 corners, bring them together. You can neaten this up as much as you want, or leave it as wadded as you want, to determine how your ears turn out. Once you've got these 2 corners up here, twist it around your fingers and tuck it through the center. And you have a bunny rabbit. Now, if you want to, you could turn this into a permanent toy. You can embellish it, or you can leave it the way it is. I know that this would have been one of those things that we could have done, and probably did do, because you can do this with a washcloth, and then take the rest of the washcloth and wrap it around a piece of soap to gift somebody, or not wrap it around, just do this and gift it. And then they've got either a washcloth or a bunny, whichever it is that they want to do with it, however it's done. But anyway, you and your kid made a simple little bunny together that they could then gift to a sibling or to a friend. And you had the time, the fun of playing with them and creating it, and creating the bunny. So don't forget to boycott the corporate on the Black Friday, during the Black Friday sales, and the whole weekend. Don't miss the whole weekend. Avoid corporate and support small. If you have to do any shopping, be sure you support small. Look out for books like The Children's Year to figure out crafting with young people. And I also wanted to share that I have made progress on the shirt for Buffkin. I did have to change pretty much everything. Apparently I did not have my seam allowances consistent, so everything had to be altered to make sure that all of the seam allowances are 5mm. And I love this fabric. Obviously, I'm wearing it. It's got bats, and it's got dragons, and stars and flowers, and so it's kind of a good Halloween. And I put on a red tie, and it becomes a good Christmas because of the colors. And you know, Uncle Ned needed one, so I have to finish this one up. But then I'll have to do it again, because I believe that before I release a pattern, I need to make sure that I have been able to go from beginning to end using the exactly correct seam allowances and everything, and it comes out without any weird spots. And then I consider it good to go. And I'll have to then take those pattern pieces, digitize them, and put them in with instructions. I had started taking pictures, and then I changed taking pictures of the assembly of this, and then I changed the way that I made the collar entirely. And so I was just like, well, I can't use those pictures. They're not the right color. Anyway, that's what's going on with that. go tie yourself up a bunny. That sounds wrong. Go make a bunny out of a square of cloth or washcloth or bandana, and go play. Don't forget to play. Go play with some young person in your life. Some child that needs time, because that's the best gift you can give. And I'm going to close out with a story from my childhood. My parents were not good about spending time with me. They really wanted me to get lost, and you know what I mean. Seen and not heard, that kind of, or they wanted me to go outside and play, leave them alone. That said, there was an exchange program. I'm not sure what exactly it was about, what it was based on, but it was with Japan, and I think it was through our church, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But we had a Japanese gentleman come and stay with us. I don't remember how long he was there, but it seemed like a nice long period of time, and it was for a cultural exchange. And so we, my parents, filled his time with, all the things that Irving, Texas had to offer. Rodeo, which I didn't know, that was my first rodeo. And we went to, of course, Six Flags over Texas, and we went to out to different restaurants that my father really liked, and there was something else major cultural thing that, again, was not our usual thing to do. But all the time that we were spending showing this gentleman around, he was very attentive to me. He had a child my age, and he knew about giving time and how important that was. And so I would run up and was like grabbing onto his trousers to ask for attention. And I was a shy kid, so this was really unusual for me. And he would swing me up into his arms and put me piggyback or just carry me. And he would talk, and he would listen. Big thing right there. He would ask me a question, and he would listen to the answer. And then he just shared in the experience of where we were going with me, and listened to my excitement over it, because that was part of it for him. He was giving me his time, and how much that meant to me. So how valuable that was. I still remember him to this day, and how he gifted me time and his attention. And that's all your kids want. That's all they want from you, is your time and your attention. So be sure you give it to them. Find yourself some craft books, and if you can't find the one that I've mentioned, find another one. Find something to help inspire you to do some fun crafting, and get out there and play. And have a delightful day and a wonderful week. And I will see you in the next one. Oh, happy Halloween. I forgot that Halloween is just, 2 days away maybe? I don't know. It's right there. Happy Samhain, happy Halloween. Enjoy yourself. That's a perfect excuse for playing. And doing, some cardboard crafting of costumes. That would be absolutely delightful. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And again, go out and play. Have fun. See you in the next one. Bye.